4 candles fittingly led the memorial procession as comic genius Ronnie Corbett was honored at Westminster Abbey today. Laughter bounced off the iconic church walls as stars mingled with members of the public to honor the life and work of Corbett, who died aged 85 on March 31 last year. A procession of 4 candles took place during the service in a nod to the famous sketch from the two Ronnies. Corbett's famous chair was also placed in front of the high altar inside the Abbey, and a clip from the show was played at the beginning. Corbett had a 60-year career but was best known for BBC comedy sketch show The Two Ronnies with his comedy partner Ronnie Barker. TV favourites Barbara Windsor, Graham Norton, Stephen Fry and Joanna Lumley were among guests that arrived to pay their respects along with members of the public who applied for free tickets to attend the service. Jimmy Tarbuck, a close friend and golf partner, paid tribute at the start of the service, while Simon Parker Bowles gave the first reading. Joanna Lumley also gave a reading, while Rob Brydon paid tribute before family members of Ronnie said prayers. Asked beforehand if the service would be in the style of Mr. Corbett, Mr. Brydon said, maybe just a smidge. We were friends. I knew him quite well, I suppose, for the last 12 years of his life. It was a shock to become friends with somebody you had grown up watching. He was a lovely man. He wasn't that different off-screen. He was warm, generous, just a lovely man. He added, he brought so much happiness to people. It should be a happy occasion, to remember a great life. It was his timing, it was his rhythms, it was his warmth. Veteran broadcaster Nicholas Parsons paid tribute outside, and said, Ronnie was warm, generous, giving. He was a very warm, loving person. That came across in all his performances. That warmth, that charm, that love of people. He was just amazing. It is lovely that somebody who is so loved should be at this amazing building here. It is iconic, and he was an iconic performer. And he deserves all the accolades and praise he will receive today. Michael Crawford, star of Some Mothers Do RVM, turned up wearing a grey suit. Speaking outside, he said, he was a very special part of my life, as he was in millions of others. Looking back on his favorite memories of Ronnie Corbett, he said, just watching him as a member of the public. That's it, I was a fan of his. Reflecting on his favorite sketch or joke, he said, there are so many you could pick out. I did like the 3 men, when he was the smallest and looking up to everyone. But there were so many. The service was conducted by the Very Reverend Dr. John Hall, Dean of Westminster. Barbara Windsor was among the first to arrive to pay her respects. The former Carry On actress cut a colorful figure in a bright red skirt suit and matching stilettos. The 79-year-old was all smiles as she arrived to honor her old friend. Fellow comedian Harry Hill also arrived in a bright orange tie and he beamed at the cameras as he prepared to honor the comedy legend. Stephen Fry, absolutely fabulous actress Joanna Lumley and comedy writer Ben Elton posed for photos together outside the Abbey. Later, bringing a touch of royalty to the high-profile memorial was Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. She arrived in a navy suit with a veil covering her face. Meanwhile, David Walliams arrived covering his face with a pair of dark sunglasses with his mum Kathleen. Ronnie Corbett's widow Anne Hart took a front row seat in the Abbey and greeted guests all dressed in white. Comedy writer Barry Cryer also arrived to pay his respects to his old friend. He was all smiles as he prepared for the celebration of Ronnie's life. Former Keeping Up appearances star Patricia Routledge also put in an appearance. She dressed somberly in a trouser suit and white top. Another blast from the past was Richard Wilson, who played Victor Meldrew in the BBC One sitcom One Foot in the Grave. Welsh comedian Robert Brydon arrived at the memorial. The funny man is best known for his roles in The Trip and Gavin and Stacey. He was later joined by his Gavin and Stacey co-star Matt Horn. Nina Wadia arrived to pay her respects. She is best known for playing Zainab Masood in the BBC soap opera EastEnders, but also starred in the hit BBC Two sketch show Goodness Gracious Me. Comedians Joe Brand and Julian Clary both arrived in black with bright red accents. Joe wore a red headband while Julian wore a bright tie. In another blast from the past, Sue Pollard arrived along with Graham Norton. Sue is most famous for her roles in the sitcoms Hi-de Hi, You Rang, M'Lord, and Oh, Dr. Beeching.